Fire away.
Okay, so this is an Elliott tall case clock, 9 tubular bell with 3 chime options. Has chime and the silent option, strike silent option. It was made in the 1920s. This is a mahogany case with acanthus leaf accents and a flame urn finial at the top. The dial is all hand engraved with a gold wash finish on the spandrels and the centerpiece, as well as the numerals. The back of the dial is got a baked gold lacquer finish on the brass main portion of the dial. The chapter rings are all finished in silver, and the dial for the moon disc is all hand painted.
What'd you call this at the top there?
The finial, that is a flame urn finial.
Got it, okay.
That's the design of it.
Okay.
The side of the clock has carved side frets that are silk fabric lined to allow the sound to flow out of the clock case when it chimes. It was made early to mid 1920s.
And then you said these
and it was in
carvings here have particular significance?
Acanthus leaf, yes. It is what they would stuff the mummies with when they would do mummification in Egypt. It was a symbol of eternal life. And it's been used on clocks for centuries.
And this clock seems to be in excellent condition.
Yes, it was owned by a professor of interior architecture. And he had each room in his house at the time each one had a theme, and it had antiques from that time period of theme, like French tortoiseshell out of the 1700s, and then he had another room that had English pieces, and this was in the main entry.
Wow.
With the other English furniture by the front entry. Then he had another room with other French pieces, like a big slate.
Basically a museum in his house.
Exactly.
So how tall is this clock?
It's 9 foot to the tip of the finial.
Okay, perfect.
In height, yeah.
Okay, so that's a beautiful clock. Now you're going to talk about the maintenance, what we need to do to keep this running.
They should be serviced every 3 years.
Okay.
So first of all, we have a next service due sticker here with our phone number, so if there's questions, we can be called at the store and be able to answer the questions.
Okay.
That whoever's operating the clock.
I'm sure we'll have some.
So, winding crank. This is what you use to wind the clock. There are 3 winding holes for the 3 weights.
Okay.
The weights on Elliott's tend to slightly stagger a little bit over its week duration. When they're
what do you mean the weights stagger a bit?
So the strike weight does not usually come down at the rate.
Oh, they don't fall at the same rate.
Exactly. They tend, by the time they're down here at the end of the week, they're a little stair-stepped.
Okay, and that's not a problem.
No, but you still want to wind it all the way up to the very top.
So now these aren't wound to the top right now.
No.
Is there a point where
about halfway down?
Is there a point where you're winding it where you'll know when to stop? You don't want to.
Yes. So when you wind these up, and you can hear the ratchet as you wind it. Just wind it as the weight disappears. Just gently go until you feel it bump that thick wood seat board the movement's mounted on.
Got it. Now you were mentioning when you were winding that you go the opposite way once.
This is preloaded now, but it's got what's called maintaining power. So if you go to wind it and the second hand starts going backwards, that means your maintaining power is not loaded up.
Okay. So what does maintaining power mean?
Maintaining power is it's a system that allows the gear train to continue moving forward while you're winding it, because as you're winding it, you're actually taking power off.
You're taking power away, so it starts going backwards.
Exactly, and so what that system does is it keeps power moving forward through the gear train, so you don't lose any time.
So if you see when you're winding these up, it goes the opposite way, then you go.
You just it's spring loaded. Like right now, I can't go any further, but it would probably just move a few degrees, and that's it. But
that's all you need
to load the tension. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then so you just wind all 3 weights, slow and steady, all the way up till you feel them gently touch the seatboard. You don't want to force them past that point. You'll feel them bump, just stop.
Okay. This is clockwise.
And each weight weighs a different amount. So
what are the approximate weights of those?
this
Roughly.
one over here, Matt, how much do you think this one weighs?
The far right one?
Yeah, 30 pounds?
Okay.
I would say 30 to 40.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay.
Because the see on the modern Hershey clocks, the 9 tubular bell weight weighs 26.
Okay.
The earlier ones weighed more.
Okay.
They weighed between 30 and 40 on average.
So now is each pendulum is
weight.
connect each okay,
Yeah.
so the pendulum, yeah. So each
Yeah.
weight is connected to different part of the movement, like one is a
Yeah.
chime, one is a strike.
So quarter-hour melody is the big heavy right weight. It does it needs that much weight because it's playing all those hammers. It takes a lot of work.
Okay.
The lightest weight is actually the time. It just needs more consistent power. It does not need heavy weight to run the gear train. The strike is a little heavier than the time because it's got that heavy hammer to lift and drop.
Okay, so the middle one's actually running the dials.
It runs the hands and the pendulum, yeah.
Okay.
But they all work with each other.
Okay.
Everything interworks with each other. So even though there's 3 separate gear trains, each train works with the other train.
That's the genius of this.
Yeah. Hence the levers on there, why you don't want to let it run down and stop.
Got it.
So, yeah. That and damaging the escape wheel teeth on the escape wheel.
So what's running? So the sun and the moon part is one of my favorite.
So that actually is a moon. There's no sun there. It's
Okay.
a lunar calendar.
Okay.
And so there's...
Wait, so this isn't the sun peeking behind
no,
there?
that's the moon.
Oh, okay, sweet. Got it.
And there's
All right.
2 scenes on here that are painted. So there's that one that you'll see, and as it rotates, you'll see the other scene. So
it's telling you the moon phases, basically.
exactly. And the other, it's always a land scene and then a sea.
Oh, that's
ocean
awesome.
Scene. Yeah.
And so now I see that you can move this clock without damaging it. And
Yeah, you always go forward with the disc.
Same thing with these hands. Now, could you touch that second hand, or would that damage it?
There's no need to really touch it. I mean, you can touch it, but there's no need for it.
I see.
On the seconds bit there. So the moon dial, that tells us when we had a full moon, when we're going into
That's
a new
great,
moon,
because I'm
things
into
like
astronomy. That's perfect.
that. So it's a lunar calendar.
Got it. 1 through 29 on the top, right there.
29 and a half days in a lunar month.
Right.
Okay. So that moon disk gets tripped about, a full lunar day is like 21 hours, 44 minutes, and like 12 seconds.
Okay.
So, but this disc, the way this is designed, it has 2 teeth per day.
Okay.
So if you move it 1 click, it's only a half day. So see them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what we do is we look on our calendar for the month when we go to set one of these and see when we have a full moon for the month of August.
Got it.
And didn't we just actually have one in July, Matt? Wasn't it July?
We just checked Saturday for the Colliers.
Oh, yeah.
We're at day 22.
Okay, so Sunday would be day 23,
Today's day 24.
day 24. So what we do, though, is to really actually do this, we line up the center of the moon with day 15.
Right.
You do that by just drawing from the mount point here of the disk.
Oh, I
center
see.
of the moon. Okay, and that's, so when we have a full moon, it's day 15 of the lunar calendar. So you have to do a conversion.
I see. So I should wait till the full moon and then just bring it up to the 15.
Well, or convert it from our calendar. So,
Right. Just how many days back, I see.
So Matt, pull up a calendar on your phone and show them when the full moon was on your on just a basic calendar. You got a picture of that?
So, there's August, there's July.
So, July 23rd, we had a full moon. Oop.
Okay.
Let me zoom back in.
Okay, so that's day 15. So 24th would be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
25.
So we're
Okay.
day 25.
Got it.
So 2 clicks equal a day. So there's day 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Awesome.
And as long as the clock runs, that will continue to move around.
Okay. Now, what are the dials on the top, right, and left?
Okay, so this is your chime and silent lever.
Okay,
to
so
silence the clock, and if you silence the clock, you want to go all the way till it stops.
okay, so you're turning
And
it
if you
clockwise.
Yes, and you'll hit a stop. And so if you want to turn it back on, you move it back to chime all the way till it stops. You don't want to leave it like that,
Got it.
or it can cause a problem with the chime and the chiming levers.
Okay.
This is the hour strike and silent lever. So if you put that all the way up to silent, it'll silence the hour strike.
Okay.
All the way down is hour striking.
Okay.
Don't want them in between.
Okay.
The melody selector, what it does is it moves the big music roll inside. And so you can move it around, and you kind of want to get it right in the middle of the words, like so. You'll actually feel it pop into its detent
Okay.
for the chimes. So
Got it.
now I'm on St. Michael's, and
Now, are you turning that counterclockwise as well? That one doesn't matter?
that you can go either direction.
Okay.
Preferably it likes clockwise from Westminster to Whittington,
Okay.
because what it's doing is it's trying to go up a real steep hill. If you try going from Westminster to Whittington, it's got a real steep hill that it's got to go up, and it may not do it. So if you just go clockwise through St. Michael's to get it to Whittington,
Okay.
it's easier on it.
Okay.
So in Whittington, it's the most fluid for using the 8 tubes across the back.
Okay.
The Westminster uses four notes. St. Michael's also uses 8 notes like Whittington, and they're somewhat similar for the first 15-minute chime. And but if you have it on St. Michael's, it's a little bit more sing-song, goes back and forth.
Okay.
Whittington tends to be a little more fluid in its flowing of the song.
Now, there's no damper on there where you can adjust the volume, right?
No.
Okay, so it's either on or off.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, Matt, see what's going on. It's not playing.
Okay, let me stop here and we will